Welcome to a softly spoken podcast by ASMR and more. I'm Shane, and the point of this podcast is to give you something to listen to while you relax and fall asleep. Something to keep your brain just occupied enough to keep you from stressing out and staying awake into the wee hours of the morning. It's 12:01 a.m. my time, and I plan on sitting here for at least a couple hours speaking into this microphone. For tonight's episode, there's no real one topic. Tonight is more of a test than anything else. I am going to be recording little bits tonight and then listening back to them and making adjustments. When this episode is over, I'll upload it to YouTube and see which settings sound the best. In the next episode of a softly spoken podcast, there will be a specific topic or topics that we discuss, and occasionally we'll have a guest on the podcast. For tonight, just relax, turn out the lights, find a comfortable position, and let's fall asleep. What inspired me to make this podcast is that I myself have been having trouble sleeping lately. I've been in the middle of a move, you see. I was living in Sheridan, Wyoming. Before that, Kalispell, Montana. Before that, a number of places. It's in the double digits. And this move that I've recently made, or am at least in the process of making, I certainly hope will be my last move ever. I am ready to stay in one place and grow some roots. Perhaps it was the stress getting to me of the move, or the fact that I was going bald and going gray, but today I shaved my head. I started with a little mustache trimmer and began making straight cuts across my scalp. I got about 3/4 of my hair cut off when the mustache trimmer stopped cutting my hair. I'm not sure if it's because the batteries got so low, the blades got dull, or hair got jammed in the blades, but it simply would not cut any more of my hair off. Now, I'm sure it's possible to remove long hair with a razor blade, but I don't have a straight razor. I just have the little 5-bladed disposable blades. I quickly went and found some actual hair trimmers, the kind a barber would use after cutting your hair to use to trim up your sideburns and around your neckline. To my dismay, these actual hair trimmers also failed to cut the remainder of my hair off. Once again, it could be because the batteries in those trimmers were too low, but I have a feeling it was my hair. Something about my hair was too thick to be cut by trimmers. Luckily, I found a pair of my mom's old actual big hair clippers. My mom used to be a cosmetologist before she retired. These trimmers successfully cut the rest of my hair off, and I was able to go to the bathroom sink, apply the shaving cream, and slowly begin the process of shaving my head. I took a before and after picture. If that's something you'd be interested in seeing, leave a comment down below. But not right now. Right now is time for sleep. Time to relax. You've done all you can do today. It's been a busy, stressful day, you've earned this opportunity to relax and sleep. I don't know if there's a Sonic drive-in near where you live, but when I moved to my new home here, I was excited to see that they did in fact have a Sonic drive-in. One of my favorite drinks at Sonic is a diet cherry limeade. You see, I'm diabetic, so I have to go with sugar-free drinks. After one day of hard work, unloading and unpacking, I decided to reward myself and go to Sonic for a diet cherry limeade. When I arrived at Sonic, I chose to go through the drive-thru. One car was ahead of me. I waited my turn and pulled up to the order sign, ready to order my diet cherry limeade. To my dismay, the man on the other side of the speaker informed me that they were out of the ingredients to make diet cherry limeades. I immediately went to Walmart. When I arrived at Walmart, I went to the back of the store to the drinks section, and to my joy, I saw that they had canned, sugar-free cherry limeade. Walmart's diet cherry limeade comes in a 12-pack for not very much money. I put it in my cart. When I got home, I nervously opened the sugar-free cherry limeade, anxious to see how closely it tasted to the Sonic cherry limeade. To my surprise, it actually tasted quite similar to Sonic's cherry limeade. The only thing missing was the maraschino cherries and the slice of lime wedge. The next day, I returned to Walmart. I bought 2 jars of maraschino cherries, Great Value brand, and a bag of limes. My total came to about the price of 3 diet cherry limeades at Sonic. I was quite pleased with my purchase. When I got home, I filled a glass with ice, put in a couple maraschino cherries, cut up a lime, put a slice of lime in my glass, and poured over the sugar-free cherry limeade. To say that it was similar to Sonic's diet cherry limeade is an understatement. It was spot on. I have found my new favorite drink to have at home in the afternoon on hot days. Occasionally in the background, you will hear some train noises. Sometimes you can hear the trains clacking on the tracks. Sometimes you can hear the trains blowing their whistle. You see, I live not far from the largest train yard in the world. I do my best to edit out the sounds, but sometimes they slip through. For those of you familiar with this channel and my others, some of you may know I have had a problem with drinking in the past. And though I have given up drinking, I still have a bit of a gut, kind of a beer belly type situation. Recently I decided I wanted to go on a diet, and a YouTuber that I watch called Adam the Woo happened to decide to go on a diet at the same time as me. He decided to go with the counting calories tactic. He downloaded an app called Lose It, which has almost every food you can think of already programmed in with the calorie count. When you first start using the app, you enter in some basic information like your age and your height and your weight and your activity level, and it kind of formulates how many calories a day you should cut yourself down to lose your goal weight within a given amount of time. I thought this looked like a pretty good system and decided to download the app myself. After I entered in all my information and the weight I wanted to get down to, the app suggested that I cut myself down to 1,706 calories per day. That number can be increased if you exercise and burn more calories in a day. So far, I have found that it is quite difficult to stay under my given calorie count. I think part of this is because I'm diabetic. When I give myself insulin, I tend to give myself a little too much, and later my blood sugar drops and I need to eat again. My goal is to eat as few times a day as possible. So I need to make adjustments to the amount of insulin I give myself. Along with losing weight, I gave up smoking cigarettes quite some time back. I started vaping, and I vaped for a while, but found that I started vaping more and more, and before I knew it, I was vaping more than I ever smoked. I switched to nicotine pouches and found I could cut myself down on the level of nicotine and the frequency that I use them. But recently, with the stress of the move and everything else, I broke down and purchased another vape kit. I use a product called Views that is sold in most convenience stores. I purchased a battery, a charger, and a 4-pack of 2.4 milligram nicotine pods. I am quite disappointed in myself. It is my goal to go through these 4 nicotine pods and then go back to the nicotine pouches, work my way down on the nicotine level and the frequency that I use them, and quit nicotine forever. The brand of nicotine pouches that I use is called On, and if you are a smoker or a vapor, I highly recommend them. Not only do I believe it is a much healthier solution than smoking or vaping, it is much more affordable. On nicotine pouches almost always have a buy one, get one free or buy two, get one free deal going on. And the cost is considerably less than smoking or vaping. Although even with the nicotine pouches, I think quitting should be everyone's goal. Nicotine is more than a habit, it's an addiction, and no one wants to be addicted to anything. There is a mall here where I live, a nice indoor shopping mall with a movie theater, some big box stores, a furniture store, some clothing stores. My mom and I one day decided to go down to the mall and look at the Ashley furniture store. We drove down to the mall, and at first glance we noticed it was under construction. We looked and we looked and we looked, but we could not find a way to get into the mall. For those of you that are interested in tech, I want to run through my setup here real quick on how I'm recording this podcast. I am speaking into a Rode Pod mic, which is not a particularly expensive microphone, but it's designed for podcasting and designed to be used with the Rodecaster Pro 2. My Rode Pod mic is going directly into a Rodecaster Pro 2, where I am taking advantage of some different settings to get the audio that I want. And from the Rodecaster Pro 2, I'm going into my iPad Pro into GarageBand, where I am taking advantage of some more settings to get the sound I desire. Once I finish recording in GarageBand, I will export the audio to LumaFusion and make a video for YouTube from there. I should mention that the room that I'm recording in, which doubles as my bedroom, has not been treated for sound yet. So hopefully, by the next episode of a softly spoken podcast, the audio quality will be even better. As I said earlier, tonight is mostly just a test. I do have a desktop Apple computer, but I find that I really don't need it to make a podcast. In fact, nowadays, I don't even need it to make videos. Almost everything I need to do can be done with my iPhone, my microphone, my Rodecaster Pro 2, and my iPad Pro. I'm not suggesting that desktop computers are on their way out. I think there will be a place for them long into the future. But I do think things such as the iPad Pros are starting to make the desktop computers less needed, so to speak. So for you, it's been less than 20 minutes listening to this video. For me, with all the editing and tweaking I've been doing, it's been over 2 hours. It's past 2 in the morning now. So I'm going to leave you with some Kevin MacLeod, Fluidscape.